I guess it's trying to seem like she won the breakup. But the person that she chose to win the breakup with is like a smarmy British indie rock version of Andrew Dice Clay, but somehow worse. Hello, everyone. So I lost the intro to this video. No idea where it is, but that's okay because what started out as something that was going to be a quick 20-minute spiel about Taylor Swift, Matty Healy, and how I felt as though her political turn in the past few years is a little disingenuous, turned into me filming for an hour and a half and talking about like bigger questions of celebrity culture and celebrity relationships and like our expectations and internalized misogyny and all of these things. The point of this introduction is this video that was going to be one video is now going to be three. The first part of this video, the one that you are watching right now, is about Taylor Swift, Matty Healy, their kind of history and trajectory, and why I think we kind of shouldn't be surprised when celebrities date people who are less than the best. The second part of this video is going to come out tomorrow, and that will be all about Taylor Swift's political rebrand and what I think in general about celebrities using politics as a form of branding when they may not necessarily hold those convictions deeply, I guess I'll say. And the third part of this video is going to be a broader conversation about celebrity relationships, celebrity couple goals, and this interesting pattern that I've been seeing of people basically being like, she's dating him or he's dating her, and acting surprised when young, hot, rich celebrities date young, hot, rich celebrities. Um, an example that I'll give you just so that we don't spoil the whole video is Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. People want to be super surprised that those two are dating when it's like they run in the same circles. They're both very rich. They're both very attractive. It was never going to be you, Janice. Like, you might run 4 separate Timothée Chalamet stan accounts across Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, but it was never going to be you. And I'm so sorry to be the first person to tell you that. So that is the gist of this whole video series that accidentally became a series. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you tomorrow for more. I don't really have any idea how to sell this channel because it is a random smattering of pop culture, TV, movies, celebrity gossip, quite literally just things that I would talk to my friends about if any of my friends cared about the same things that I care about. So, do you want to be my friend? Do you care about the things that I talk about on the rest of this channel? If you do, subscribe, hit the like button because that actually really helps me figure out what types of content I should be making and putting out more of on this channel. And yeah, we're honestly just gonna get right into it. This is my fireside chat mode basically. Here, if you notice, I have a gaming chair now. It's not because I'm a gamer. I guess I could call myself a gamer because I've played, I think, 5,000 hours of The Sims 4 since 2018, which I don't think is that much actually, comparatively speaking. Or maybe it's too much. I don't know. The chair that I had before was giving me back problems. This does not give me back problems, and it has the added ADHD asset of, you can't see this, but I'm pulling out a little leg rest so that I can sit crisscross applesauce in it. Oh my God, am I going to put an Amazon affiliate link in the description down below? I think I will. I think I will put an Amazon affiliate link in the description down below because everyone else is doing it. We're not going to get into how I fucking hate Amazon influencers right now. So, if you don't live under a rock, you know that Taylor Swift has recently been seen with Matty Healy because she's not claiming him. They haven't come out and said, hey, we're dating each other. The Swifties are all abuzz because Matty Healy he doesn't have the best reputation, ironically enough, because she had a whole Reputation era. This is a very funny crossover for me personally, because when I was in high school, I was both a Swiftie and a stan of the 1975. And I think I was pretty much the only person that I knew who fucking loved the 1975. He's the lead singer, and there's two other guys in the band, I'm pretty sure. I did have a crush on the drummer, who's very hot and currently dating Charlie XCX, I'm pretty sure. And then the other guy, I unfortunately didn't really care about, but he's British too. I was gonna say he seems nice, but I don't know how nice you can be if you're friends with this like weird edgelord singer. The history of Taylor and Matty, they kind of were seeing each other, I think like 10 years ago. So yeah, while I was in high school, like 2013, 2014 era, she was out wearing like the 1975 t-shirts. And this was during her 1989 eras where her street style was very much pointed and focused. And so like you knew she wasn't going to wear something unless it had a message. So she was wearing a 1975 like t-shirt. That was a very iconic outfit. I was obsessed with that look. And Matty was also wearing a 1989 t-shirt. But then there was like weird interviews that he did where he basically said that it would be emasculating for him to date Taylor, basically for him to claim her, because there were rumors that they were together anyway. But he, I guess, was like, I don't want to be in an official relationship with her because it would be emasculating. And I'm pretty sure ever since then, the Swifties have been like, no, Matty. Me personally, I loved Taylor and Joe. The music that she made about him, the songs that she wrote about him are so touching to me. She has this one song called Invisible String, which is a reference to a line from the Charlotte Bronte novel Jane Eyre. That is my favorite line in all of literature, pretty much. And I think it's because we both have a water Venus. I'm 100% sure that we simp in very similar ways because we both have water Venuses. But I would listen to those songs that she wrote about Joe, and I was like, I'm eating. So I, like very many other people, were upset to learn that Taylor and Joe were no more. I really thought that those crazy kids would make it. I thought that they were going to go the distance. But then seemingly like days after the news came out that she was no longer in this 6-year long relationship, news also came out that she was being seen in a lot of places with Matty Healy. People were reading a lot into what is essentially just a bunch of paparazzi appearances, like paparazzi images, and also him like Matty Healy getting up on stage at a couple of her shows and opening for her with Phoebe Bridgers. Initially, I didn't quite understand why the Swifties were so upset with Taylor that she may or may not be dating Matty. I had vague memories of him being like weird and a little problematic when I was into the 1975 in high school, but the way that I just like checked out so hard after that like 1 year period of standing them aggressively. Speaking of which, like they have one song called Sex, the EP version, not the album version, that to this day, fine wine. I love that song. I have no impression of the 1975 outside of Matty is a little weird and maybe problematic. Then I started to see things about what that problematicness was rooted in, where it was coming from, why the girls hated him so much, and I was like, "Oh, so this is I haven't been paying attention to this man for 10 years, but this is a lot worse than I remember it being." If you, like me, were confused previously about why people were so mad at Taylor Swift for getting a new boyfriend after she broke up with her last one, essentially, Matty Healy is, first of all, Matty. Are you a cast member of Skins? Is this Generation 3? Right. Matty. Matty. It doesn't sound right in an American accent, so it kind of doesn't make sense as a stage name. Matty. That just makes it sound like his name is Madeline, and he shortened it to Matty, which he could have, but it makes sense in British. Matty. Matty. Even Australian. Wait, let me try. No, Cleo. That's how I get into my Australian accent. Ricky, stop it. Matty. Matty, don't do that. Matty in an Australian accent. A little bit. It's a little bit nasty. If I do say so myself. But I am saying so myself, so. No, it's just not right in any dialect except British English. So that's the first issue that I have. The issues that people have with this relationship are not just with Matty as a person, the type of person that he's shown himself to be, but also the type of person that Taylor has been trying to portray herself as over the past, honestly, 5 years, I want to say, since the end of the Reputation era, how those things, like her persona that she's trying to project and his persona that he's projecting, don't align. So Matty is basically like I said earlier, kind of an indie rock edgelord. Like, he will say the most out of pocket, random shit about different groups of people that gets him in trouble. But he's said, or people have claimed, that he's just doing it like as a commentary. He's not really expressing opinions that he has or doing things that he believes, but he's making commentary on people who do that. It's difficult for me when people say that they are doing things as a commentary, because it's like anything can be a commentary. Like, I'm doing this as a commentary can be an excuse for any amount of bad behavior. You shat in the middle of the street. Oh, yeah. Well, it was a commentary. You punched your mother-in-law in the face. Oh, it was a commentary on violence against women. You don't really need to underpin that statement with anything in order for people to believe it and accept it. The second thing is, like, what is the commentary? What are you trying to say? Why are you trying to say it? Like, I feel like there just has to be a point. There has to be a thesis statement that is explained at some point. Otherwise, it's just like, no, you're just being an asshole. I remember there was a podcast that came out where, so getting back to like the whole why people are mad at Taylor Swift for dating him or appearing to date him, there's a podcast that came out where he pretty much made some very incoherent, but the commentary in and of itself was incoherent, but what was coherent about it was that it was racist against Black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, and First Nation people, all in at the same time. Like, I'm going to see if I can pull up what he said.
Okay, so I pretty much then spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out what was said. I find it to be utterly incoherent. Like, I don't understand at all what the conversation was on this podcast. So I'm just putting up some screenshots of the articles that I read. You can pause to hold. Basically, all you need to understand is that it was disparaging to Ice Spice, who I feel like keeps catching strays, like from Matty and then from Drake, was disparaging to Chinese people, Inuit people, Scottish people, Black people, like any people that he could have offended. He offended during that time. And I don't know if he was the one who personally said the things that were negative about Ice Spice, but they were said and he was laughing along. That being said, there is also an update to this whole situation about Matty Healy insulting Ice Spice while dating Taylor Swift, which is basically that Taylor got Ice Spice to feature on a horrible remix of the song Karma, I guess, as like some sort of weird apology. The girls didn't buy it, and they also didn't like the song. So we know she knows that we don't like her man. Her answer to that was to get a girl that her man insulted on a bad remix of her song. Interesting.
Apologize. He didn't apologize. He said, I guess I'm kind of sorry if I offended anyone at a show. As a way of like giving a BS apology to what was said about Ice Spice and the Inuit people and the Chinese and the Scottish people and the Japanese and Hawaiian people, like very 2005, like early 2000s humor. I'm not racist. I don't just target one group. I'm an equal opportunity offender. My issue with that is that we've moved on. That stopped being funny when Family Guy stopped being funny, which I'm pretty sure was like 2011, if I'm absolutely pushing it. I'm pretty sure the only reason so many of us find Family Guy funny or found Family Guy funny is because we were children. So that's like the first thing that he did that I heard about people being upset. The thing that honestly prompted me to make this video was a story that I'm pretty sure he told on the same podcast about the type of that he enjoys watching, which I personally find disturbing. A, as like a member of the group represented in the that he enjoys watching, and B, because it feels so indicative of racist colonial ideas of Black women and our bodies that I didn't even know that stuff like this existed in the world. I shouldn't be surprised, but I was absolutely disgusted reading about it. So I'll link the BuzzFeed article that I read down below, but it basically said that he had this like get together at his apartment and everyone left. And one of their friends forgot her water bottle in the apartment. And so she went back upstairs. And this was about like 30 seconds after everyone left. He was on the couch, airplaying violent featuring Black women on his television. I should say featuring violence against Black women perpetuated by white men on his television. I don't want to say the name of the website because I don't want to like send people there inadvertently. Thing that they focused on the podcast that it had been 30 seconds since everyone left, and oh, how ridiculous is it that he couldn't even wait like 10 minutes to start or whatever. But the thing that disturbs me and a lot of other people is this white man is watching porn in which his self insert, so like another white man, is violently harassing and berating specifically a Black woman. And it's not just that, but it's a porn website that is entirely devoted to that stuff. I'm going to say again that I didn't even know that that existed. The fact that he knows that that exists is highly disturbing to me. And also, it tells me a lot about how this man views Black women as sexual object. It gives there's this stuff that I read that's on that website is like master slave scenarios, people getting watermelon thrown in their faces, people asking if they're doing this so that they can make money to buy food for their kids or if it's to like supplement their welfare checks or whatever. Like every stereotype that you can think about for Black women is present on that website and being used against them by white men. And this is a huge trigger warning for people who cannot handle violence against women or mentions of vomit or anything like that. I'll put a timestamp right here that you can switch to. There was one that I saw where someone was like, there was a video of a woman who was being gagged so aggressively that she threw up and then was forced to consume her own vomit. The trigger is over. So for everyone who's back after that. This is some of the most disturbing stuff that I've ever heard of. And I've never seen anything like that with my own eyes. I've only heard of performers and former performers in the adult entertainment industry being like, yeah, people made me do this, or this happened to me when I was on set. And it's all of these horrific stories. The idea that someone who's this famous and this influential was on a podcast admitting to watching stuff that disturbing. Did you think that that was just funny? And it's not even just like that again, because people might say that, oh, well, maybe he was just saying that as a part of the commentary. I'm pretty sure he wasn't the one who brought it up. One of the other hosts of the podcast brought it up as like a funny anecdote, and somebody else was there and saw it. So there's multiple sources of this information. Like, this is actually something that he watches and enjoys, and this is actually a way that he views Black women. I find it so disturbing. I would never even want to be in a room with this person, let alone alone near him. Like, I'm scared. I saw the stuff about Ice Spice. I saw that, and I was finally like, oh, something's wrong with him. Taylor Swift is like gallivanting all around the world, basically, all around the United States. He's coming to all of these tour dates. They're probably She's just like, she's not claiming him and saying like, this is my boyfriend, but she is being photographed with him, which the type of person she is, like we've seen past eras of her. She understands the power of the paparazzi, the power of the photograph. The night that she announced that her and Joe had broken up, she was photographed in a super cute outfit going to get dinner. That's how you control the narrative. We know that that's something that she is aware of or capable of. I guess it's trying to seem like she won the breakup. But the person that she chose to win the breakup with is like a smarmy British indie rock version of Andrew Dice Clay, but somehow worse. I understand now why her fans were so disappointed to see him not just out with her everywhere, but also to have him come to concerts and perform at concerts when they didn't know that he was going to be there. They weren't paying to see him. They were paying to see her and Phoebe Bridgers perform. And all of a sudden, this guy who might make you uncomfortable, who said things that are insensitive to a group that you're a part of, who's done things that are insensitive to a group that you're a part of, is on stage singing at this show that you probably paid an arm and a leg to be at. I would be upset too. Like, I would be uncomfortable too. That being said, I think there's this thing. I'm not going to say that Taylor is wrong or right for coming out and like being seen with him and seeming to date him or at least be sleeping with him or whatever, because it's not my place to judge her. She's the one who has to get in the bed with him at night. God, I wonder if they watch that violent racist porn together. Oh God, I didn't want that thought in my head. I didn't want that thought in my head. Oh, puppies. Okay, it's gone. I feel I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at myself for buying into this act that she's been putting on for the past few years. And so to like see, I guess, proof, I'm really like, okay, I see the type of bitch that you are now. Now I understand the type of bitch that you are. You're not the person that you tried to convince everyone that you were after 2017, but now I know who you are. Do you know what I mean? So